Hey guys, Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out. Yes, we got our hands on, of course, the Nerf, or the Halo Nerf MA40. And, you know, this thing was a little bit pricey. We were kind of on the fence if we wanted to pick this one up. You know, I haven't played a Halo video game in, oh my gosh, years. Probably ever since the first one or maybe even the second one. So it's been a long time. And this was on the high-end side of things when it comes to Nerf blasters. I think this retailed, you guys can check it out there. I think it was almost 60 when we got it on Amazon. It was almost $60 all together with shipping and everything. So it's pricey, especially with some of the stuff that's come out nowadays, right? Like some of the stuff from Adventure Force where it is just rocking and the price is crazy cheap. Anyways, we're not talking about that. Let's get into this thing. Now, for a lot of you guys who are Halo fans, I would love to believe you're probably going to pick this thing up. Especially if you're a die-hard Halo fan, I don't see why you would not pick this up. It's been one of the first, of course, you know, in, of course, the Hasbro series or the Nerf Blaster series, just because I think it was Boomco. Boomco is the one who had kind of the rights to the blaster-type shooters, and there was a couple of them. I actually never picked them up. I really wanted this one. I think it was called, like, the Needler. I really wanted that, but the price on it was just so pricey that I was like, okay, I'm going to step back and probably not pick that one up. So hopefully we do see a little bit more in the line of kind of this Halo series because, hey, why not, right? Having blasters that you can kind of relate to in a game or in real life or something like that kind of just adds a little bit of nostalgia to getting the actual blaster itself. So let's hop right in. You can see this box it's huge. It's a very long box. It almost reminds me of the box that the that the Fortnite sniper rifle, or the ARL, I believe, or whatever it was, that came in. Because that box was pretty big, and this box is pretty big as well. What's strange about this box, you guys, is I've actually never had anything off Amazon shipped like this straight in the box. They didn't put it in a box. They actually slapped the label on the other side and shipped it just like that so people could actually see it. And it kind of scratched up the box a little bit, you know, especially if you're a collector, which I think a lot of you guys will probably get this if you are. I mean, you want that box in pristine shape. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but who knows? Maybe it was just me when they shipped it to me that way. Anyways, let's look at the actual blaster itself. So just looking over it, I love it. I mean, it looks great. I love kind of that white, kind of that pearl white. I love that off-tone green, some of the dark greens, and they really did it well. I think it very mimics the, you know, the blaster itself. I don't know if you want to call it a blaster or a weapon. It very mimics it very, very well. They didn't overdo it with this particular blaster. I know a lot of people say that this is very similar to kind of that bullpup kind of Raven style. And of course, I'll pull that up here in a little bit. We can kind of compare, but it is kind of similar. Not exactly, but kind of similar. It just has a lot more barrel to this thing, right? So overall, not too bad when you look at it aesthetically. Now, the grip itself, yeah, again, not too bad. They got kind of these little textured grips down there. That little forefinger, or for that little hole for your thumb, feels really good. Not too big and not too small. I think overall, kind of the hand grip down there, yeah, not too bad. It actually, if you look, I mean, it fits me very well. And again, I have longer arms for an adult, and it fits me very, very well. You know, the butt plate and the stock and the front kind of grip up here, it all feels really well. Now, this front grip, I love it. It's large. It has kind of this weird kind of texture they did on it. It's almost like I don't even know what you want to call that, but it's not as smooth as, of course, the smooth plastic kind of. They texture the lower grip as well as kind of give it like this fake kind of rubbery grip feel, but it feels really good. And they did that also on the back. So kind of this butt plate back here and kind of this chin resting plate here for the scope. They pretty much did that same texture on the back there, which I think is cool. It's a little bit different. It kind of reminds me of some of the, if you guys remember, what was it? Geez, it was the, I'll just pull it up here. It was the sniper rifle by Rival. Anyways, that one had kind of this rubbery material. It's not exactly that on this back or this front, but it kind of reminds me of that. So it's just something to think about, that it's a nice little textured, you know, feel and God, it just feels really good. I like that when they do that. It gives you a little bit more of a feel to it, so everything is just not so slippery. Now, of course, the mag. It is a 10-round magazine, so you can check it out right there. It's very similar, of course, to the other mags, you know, right? From Nerf, you can throw in an 18. You could throw in a 6. A 6 might go up in there, and it might be a little hard to kind of pull out. So I say stick with the 10s plus. Oh, now you guys know what I'm going to say. I was so disappointed. God, you guys know I had to pull these out. I mean, you guys are probably sitting there saying, all right, when's he going to show the drum mag? When's he going to show it? You know I always have to try these, and of course it does not fit. The drum mag does not fit inside this particular blaster. You're going to have to like cut out that back piece, which I say, you know what, don't do it on this particular blaster, because again, this is more a collector's thing. And so I figured, hey, let's try the Adventure Force drum mag since the stem is a little bit bigger on this one. It holds a little more. I tried it too. While it goes in a little bit farther, it just doesn't reach. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I wish those would have fit because you guys know me. Me and my drum mags, I got to try them on every blaster that I review. I just got to try it. So the stock one, hey, not too bad. It has a cool kind of ramped bumper on the bottom, if you want to call it that. Again, just kind of gets it out of the way of your forearm so it's not in the way. I think with the drum mag, it wouldn't have been bad down here, but still, who knows? But I can't try it, so it is what it is. On the actual top, if you guys kind of see here, you know, it has the kind of the one tactical rail, if you want to call it that. Now, here's the thing. It does come with 2 different attachments, so you guys can put kind of the little digital ammo readout on the back there, or it does come with a little bit of a kind of a clip-on riser, which I think is kind of cool because you, of course, can't put a normal-sized scope right on the top here because if you did, yeah, I mean, it's just not going to work. So they do have this riser piece that you just throw the riser on, and then, of course, you could put it on your favorite, you know, scope attachment, whatever it might be. This one, of course, is from the Fortnite sniper rifle. Doesn't really go with the theme, but I just kind of wanted to show you that you guys can use this if needed. So you guys can kind of see, not too bad there. Not bad at all, but I think that is a little bit, I think that's a little bit overkill. I'm going to stick with, again, the actual kind of digital readout there of the rounds. Now, yes, this does take 4 C batteries. Oh, it always kills me when I see that. I feel like the whole C battery thing on a lot of these Nerf blasters is just something of the past. You know, I really wish it would have been some type of battery adapter or some type of LiPo or some type of NiCad. Something like this, again, they've been doing with the Rival series for quite some time. Just make one for this. I mean, it's not that difficult. Or make one that's universal for these Nerf blasters going forward. And I think a lot more people would actually get into the hobby because, man, ripping through C batteries or leaving them in here, they're kind of pricey, right? Especially when some of them require Ds. I'm like, my gosh. So I could see how someone might LiPo mod this thing, especially to like a 7.4. I could see it. But this particular one, I'm not going to do. I'm going to leave this stock just because, again, to me, this is more of a collector's particular blaster than anything. So just keep that in mind. 4 Cs, not the best thing. Now, again, a lot of you guys were always saying, oh, you know, that's very similar to a Raven. And you're correct. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's the bullpup style. And if you kind of put them up against each other, you can kind of see it's very, very close. I'll give you that. But, of course, the MA40 has another foot long worth the barrel, right, to mimic the actual blaster. So, you know, it is a thing. People wanted me to do a kind of a cross compare when I did do this one, but the thing is it is what it is, right? This one is more it's more kind of similar to the actual blaster in the game. Comparison to this is just just a bullpup style blaster. So I don't know if I'm going to do a compare or not, but I did want to show you those differences and say, look, you're right. It is very, very similar type of blaster. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to performance, some of you guys are probably asking, what does this thing shoot? So for me, I lost my stinking footage of me shooting it. So when I shot it, I'll pull up the FPS over here. This thing didn't shoot too bad. Again, with 4C batteries, you're only looking at 6 volts. So you're not going to get a lot. I got around about that 60 feet FPS. As long as you let all the, everything rev up to the top, you were fine. But again, this really needs to be like a 9.6. It really needs that to kind of give you that rate of fire and have everything, if you're shooting really fast, at least be around the 75, 80 FPS. Otherwise, you got to sit it, let it rev, and then shoot. So, I don't know. You know, again, for me, I'm not going to keep batteries in this. I took them out immediately just because, you know me, this particular blaster, I'll probably end up having on the shelf or sit back in the box, and I don't want to leave the batteries in there and have anything corroded. So, I'm not quite sure if I'll give this particular blaster away yet. Now, what's strange here is it comes with this little bag of darts. You guys can kind of see it's like a little bag of darts. I've never seen that like that. And it comes with kind of these like off green with kind of these grayish / white tips to basically mimic the blaster itself. I'm not going to shoot these because, again, they are very specific to this particular blaster. And again, if it's a collector's particular item, I'm going to make sure that, you know, whoever gets this in the future has everything in here without darts that are bent and all messed up. Now, inside that little bag, it does come with kind of the fake priming little plastic piece here. I'm not going to put it in this particular blaster because it actually doesn't do anything. You stick it in, it actually doesn't slide or anything. It's just more just there for the look. So I'll leave it for the new owner or if I ever get rid of this thing. Now, I think one of the reasons why this particular blaster was so much is because it does come with yes, a digital redeemable code for in the game so you can get the skin of this particular blaster on your weapon. So if you guys are wanting this, yes, hey, leave it in the comments and say, I would love the code. Just leave it down there, and maybe I'll reply to you and go ahead and give this out or give it to somebody or something. But leave that down in the comments if you guys are curious. You guys, overall, you know, this is a pretty cool blaster. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, you know, these are some of the first ones here from, you know, in the Halo series by Hasbro / Nerf. I got to pick it up. Because if they only do 1 or 2, I could see a lot of the diehard Halo fans out there wanting to pick this particular blaster up. Just for the sheer fact that, right, it's sweet. And it looks really, really good. And, of course, again, if you're a huge fan of the game, you get a nice little redeemable code, which is always awesome. So, you know, overall, I think this blaster is pretty cool. I'm more going to hold on to it for the collector side of things and maybe get rid of it later. But I still think it's awesome. A little bit on the spendy side, since there are a few blasters out there right now that are about half this cost that kind of outperform this thing by a lot. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of this. I'm always curious to see if you guys have this particular blaster and what you guys think. Are you guys keeping it as more of a collector's thing? Are you guys out there bashing it around? What are you guys using it for? I'm just kind of curious. Anyways, definitely subscribe, guys, if you guys haven't already. You know, we do a ton of giveaways. We got a pretty big one coming out. Don't want to say too much about it. We got a pretty big one coming out for all you guys out there. Thanks again, Fox fans.